The number one thing that we would like customers to do when they land on our product page is to purchase said product. So it's very important that you create the best product page that you can. Today we're going to go over the top 10 mistakes that sellers make when creating product pages. And today is going to be a collaboration with Elle McCann from Curious Themes. So you're going to watch my top 5 on this channel, and then you're going to head over to Elle's channel and watch her top 5. Hi everyone, I'm Lisa from Pretty Fabulous, and I help online businesses create beautiful digital downloads using Adobe InDesign. So if this sounds like you or something you might be interested in, make sure to hit the subscribe button below. I post new videos every Monday and Thursday, and I do unboxings on Saturdays. I'm super excited to be doing this collaboration today with Elle from Curious Themes because she helps specifically with Shopify and for small online businesses, which is pretty much everybody that I primarily work with in terms of plannерpreneurs or people selling stationery or calligraphy or other types of products. Now, in Shopify, there are a lot of built-in features, but there are also a lot of not built-in features that are left to you to decide. So Elle has done an amazing job of picking out her top 5, whether you use Shopify or any other platform. So don't feel like you have to use Shopify to get any value out of my list or out of hers today. Now, the first thing that is on my list for sure is breadcrumb navigation. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, sometimes when you are deciding where things should go on your website in terms of the navigation in the top for products, you might just decide to put things where you like them. And when I say where you like them, it may not be the most intuitive to a new visitor or even returning customers. So an excellent example of someone who does this very well is Amazon. So for example, if I needed to replace my shoes for working out, I would go to Amazon and I would first go to the section on shoes. Then I would go to women's shoes. Then I would go to athletic shoes instead of pumps or sandals or something like that. And then within there, I would go to cross-training shoes, and then I'd pick my size and the width and everything else. So to me, that is very intuitive breadcrumb navigation to get me to the product that I am looking for, versus if they had put some shoes out there and they said they called them the Windsor collection. Maybe they're the best fitness shoes ever, but I don't understand the Windsor collection from maybe another brand called the Mint collection. And if they put that in the navigation, that's not going to be very helpful, especially when you have planners and you're starting out and you're trying to make some cutesy names or sort of brand your own different lines. And there's nothing wrong with that. But think about a new user. You might want to not start with that in your breadcrumb navigation at the top. The second biggest mistake that I see people making is that they are more concerned with list building than they are with closing the sale on that product page. Now, there's nothing wrong with doing list building. In fact, I strongly encourage it. However, on your product page is not the right time to prioritize list building over closing a sale. And what I mean by this is sometimes you might look at something and you want to add it to the cart because possibly on that product page, they didn't list the shipping and you're trying to figure out how much it will cost based on where you are located versus where it's coming from. You just don't know. And you also might want to see if they have overnight shipping. And at that point, if I need to give you my email address before I'm even allowed to put something in the cart, or sometimes people ask for, it's even worse, they ask for an email address before you can even see what's inside the shop, then you are going to have a lot of bounces on your website. People aren't going to come in. It would be like if you went to a store at the mall and before you even got in, they asked you for your mailing address and asked to see what your credit line was before they even let you in the door. You would probably be pretty offended and would walk away. Now, I realize there are a lot of carts set up so that they do follow-up for cart abandonment, and you can't do cart abandonment if someone has not provided you their email address, and I get that, but you should be trying to close the sale first and then get cart abandonment probably closer to when they are about to check out at that last minute. So don't prioritize list building over closing the sale inside your actual product page. Now, the third thing that I see a lot of people doing is too many choices. So you have choice overload. And in my example of shoes, let's say I'm going to buy a pair of shoes, but there are two different varieties. Maybe there's a pink shoe and there is a blue shoe, but I know that I like pink better than blue. So it's a pretty easy decision for me. It's a one or the other. Versus if I go to, say, another product and that athletic shoe has 25 different colors. I know what you're thinking sometimes as the seller. If I offer every single color I can think of, plus different shades like pastels and bolds and maybe some metallics, for sure I'm going to have all of my bases covered and I will get even more customers. That is actually not true. What happens is people end up getting into analysis paralysis and they get choice overload and they actually end up making no choice at all because they are so worried about making the wrong choice. So when you can, pare down those choices, make sure there's less of them. Same thing, whether it's colors or it's sizes or it's page style, you know, it's your job as the seller to make a lot of those decisions for your customer because you either, one, know your customer so well, two, you are going after a specific area of the market, or three, you sort of know what is going to be best for that customer based on past user experience and what people did or did not like in terms of size or thickness of paper or other factors that go into your particular product. You're supposed to be the expert and narrow it down for them. So that is number 3. Number 4 is trying to use too many cutesy fonts. And so what do I mean by that? I'm pretty sure all of us would agree that calligraphy, handwritten, that sort of stylish looking font is beautiful. It looks really nice. However, if you are trying to get a very important message across with this cutesy, pretty font, it is difficult to read on a computer screen, on a phone, on a tablet. And so what ends up happening is it may look pretty, but it's so difficult to read. People get frustrated. They can't really tell what you're selling and they just bounce. So again, use your stylish, cute fonts sparingly. Don't just use a big thing of script font all over the place. And the 5th and last one is when you get to the cart. And I see this a lot, and usually the software they're using, whether it's Shopify or something else, makes the decision for you, but sometimes you get to make the decision on what that button says on their product page. It's either buy it now or add to cart. And those are two very different responses and actions that you are asking your customer to take, because buy it now means I'm going to click buy it now. There are no other options. You don't have a shopping cart. I'm just going to go to a checkout page and I'm going to purchase it and it will be mine. Versus add it to cart means you might have a little shopping cart icon at the top, and once I hit add to cart, I will get some sort of visual confirmation that the cart has been filled up with this product I just selected with a little 1. Or it will pop up on the right in a side panel. So those are two very different things. Add to cart or buy it now. Make sure you know the difference. Don't tell somebody to do one thing when you really mean the other. So that is my top 5, and I think if you can try to look at your product page and make sure it does not make any of those mistakes, you are in pretty good shape. So let's just recap really quick. The first one is make sure you have really good breadcrumb navigation. Look at Amazon. They are a best practice for that. The second thing is don't favor list building over closing the sale on that product page. And the third thing is don't give people choice overload, narrow it down for them. And the fourth is don't use illegible cutesy fonts like too much, just make me a little accent here or there. And the 5th and the last one is make sure to use the right terminology on your call to action button on your product page. All right, I hope that was useful. Make sure to go ahead and head over to Elle's page and look at her top 5 for a total of 10 things that you can do to do a self-audit of your product page. And I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day, and I will talk to you guys next week. Bye.